Oh, hi. I just have a quick question I was wondering if someone could help me with.
Okay.
Do you have a minute?
Yes.
Okay, well, these Jehovah Witnesses I saw in my neighborhood, I was talking to them a little bit. They were really nice, and they said that Jehovah always had an organization.
Yes, so throughout the years has always been someone following the true God, receiving his directions and teaching others.
Well, I was just sharing with you what they said, and you reworded it, but that's exactly what they said. Jehovah has always used an organization.
Yes.
Okay, so, well, then I read in this online, they told me about the website. So the latest magazine says that for 1,700 years, there was no organized group of God's servants on earth.
Which article was that?
It's called Watchtower Study Edition, May 2020.
All right, give me just a moment.
Okay.
Hi, ma'am.
Yeah. What happened to that other? What happened to that other guy?
Walter?
Yeah, he's nice.
He's wonderful. He just asked me to step back. I'm one of the other brothers here. Where are you located?
Oh,
are you in Orlando?
I don't like to give my information. I don't
okay,
really know
I'm
you
not
guys.
going to come visit you. I just don't know what
Why would it matter?
Well, because truthfully, over the phone, it's hard to really understand fully what we're talking about.
Really?
If you're willing to come to a particular Kingdom Hall in your area and sit down, at least we can kind of look at what you're looking at, what scriptures we're talking about.
Oh, it's just a really simple question.
Well, I heard, but right now we're actually in the middle of our meeting.
Okay.
And so we answered the phone out of respect for you, but honestly, we're trying to continue to take in our knowledge, right?
Oh, yeah, I don't want to, I told him I didn't want to interrupt. I don't know why he needed someone else to just come and say you have to go. But I appreciate it.
We're more than happy to sit down with anybody.
Yeah, I am sitting down right now. Yeah, but it's okay. I don't want to interrupt the meeting. I know, that's annoying. So, yeah, I told him I was fine with that.
How familiar are you with Jehovah's Witnesses?
Oh, fairly familiar. I mean, I look at the website and things like that,
Oh, wonderful. Well, listen, we're always welcome to multiple congregations. You happen to get in touch with the sign language congregation?
Oh, okay.
So we actually work with the deaf primarily, and we do everything in sign language.
Wow.
So we do speak English, and so some of us are hard of hearing. Some of us, maybe that's why they called me in. So please, feel free. You can stop by. We're at Thacker if you're in Orlando. I mean, you can look on the website. There's like congregations everywhere.
Oh, sure.
And you're always welcome to, you see some of our carts in the street, I'm sure. Feel free to walk up to them and ask questions. The only thing I'll share with you about the question you asked is, some folks actually, in looking at Hebrews, they see how Abel was, considered a faithful witness of God. And when we compare what he did as far as just saying, I worship Jehovah and, I want to obey him, you can theoretically go back to the beginning of time and say, there have been witnesses of God from Jehovah from the beginning of time. But, some people think of those things as, more like just trying to stretch the truth. The truth
yeah, it really sounds like it. It's neat that you kind of are able to see that, too. You kind of even know that something in you kind of knows. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The reality is, what is the goal of your question and what is the goal of our congregation? And so the truth of the matter is, if your goal is to learn more about God and really what we are, please stop by one of our carts, stop by one of our congregations, and we'd love to be able to sit down and have more.
Yeah, you said that like a whole bunch of times. God bless. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hi, I was just wondering if someone could help me with a quick question I had.
Yeah, how can I help you?
Do you have a minute?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, well, these Jehovah Witnesses told me that Jehovah has always had an organization.
I'm sorry, can you repeat?
These Jehovah Witnesses told me that Jehovah has always had an organization.
Correct.
Oh, okay. Well, they told me about, reading the website on, it's called jw.org.
Correct.
So I was just reading the most recent one that they posted, because I like to read things about religion and the Bible.
Okay.
Well, it says that this is what it says. It says from the time of the 2nd century until the late 19th century, there was no organized group of God's servants on earth.
Correct. So what there is.
Well, which one is correct? It's confusing.
Oh, and I'm. You know what? I'm very happy that you go to the extent of calling and
Yeah. So how do you which one is like really true?
Well, it's just what's in our website is actually correct information. There has been disciples of Jesus that are in the Bible that you see, and the organization was rightfully instituted shortly after Jesus' death, and by the Holy Spirit. And there's obviously the Kingdom of Jehovah that's always being in place, and it's in the heavens, and the organization down on earth as well. Obviously, back then, they were not known as Jehovah's Witnesses, right? They were the faithful people that would follow what the learnings from Jesus were.
Like who? Can they even identify any people? I mean, it's still contradictory because you even said, I said, has Jehovah always had an organization? And you said yes. And then I read in the magazine, it says there wasn't one for that many years.
Yeah, it's I'm really happy that you have those questions. With what I would love to do is if I could get your information, we can have any of our brothers and sisters offer you a study in your house and or in any place that you would like, and we'll more than likely we'll be more than happy to answer those questions and help you, guide you with the Bible and to understand these and many other of the questions.
So you can't really answer it like right now, because like everything you said, it didn't have any bearing. You're almost acting like you don't understand what I'm saying. I mean, maybe you don't understand that witnesses always say Jehovah has always had an organization, and then I read the magazine. There was no organized group. And you're like, there was a few people. I mean, that's a very different thing to say, isn't it?
I'm sorry?
You're like, oh, there was a few faithful men, right?
Hello?
Yeah. Can you hear now? Hi, how's it going over there?
Okay.
Yeah, I just had a quick question I was wondering if someone could help me with.
Sure.
Well, some ladies that were out with their magazines had told me about the website jw.org.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd like to read, so I was doing a lot of reading on there. And I just had a question about this one thing I found. It's in an older magazine. It's so nice they provide some of the older ones. But it's talking about a slave. It says, the slave. Is that like your leaders? Is that what they mean by that?
I tell you what, is there a phone number that I can call you back?
Well...
The reason I say that, I'm in the middle of a meeting.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, and I don't mean to put you off.
Oh, that's okay. No problem. I'll just tell you real quick, and then maybe I can ask them if I ever see them again. Yeah. But it says that it's vital that you respond to the directions of the slave as you would to the voice of God. Do they still do that?
Yeah, let me share one thing with you really quick.
Okay.
And then...
That's frightening to me because it kind of reminds me of Jim Jones and David Koresh, and they kind of said that about themselves too.
Yeah, no, it's nothing like that.
Well, what is it? I mean, when I'm reading that, I'm not used to looking at any pastors that way or anything, and they wouldn't really claim that either. They wouldn't talk about themselves like that.
Right. So if you go to Matthew chapter 24, and you can read the entire chapter there if you want, but specifically when you go down to verse 45 is where Jesus is talking about the faithful and discreet slave.
Right, like he talks about the 10 virgins. It's part of a story he told about faithfulness, and he talks also. It talks also in the New Testament about being entrusted with things, and to be faithful. Yeah. So you think that's the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society he was talking about? No, really. Are you saying that?
In a sense, there's
a
few members that make up this faithful and discreet slave. Yes.
That's what Jesus meant at that time?
Right, because if you notice, he says there in 45, whom his master appointed over his domestics to give them their food at the proper time. So he's speaking of spiritual food, not literal food. So there would have to be some direction here on the earth after Jesus went to heaven.
Do you identify who the 5 foolish and wise virgins are also? Because it's in the same kind of context. Like the parable of the 10 virgins. I mean, is there somebody that's them too? I mean, anybody could say that about Matthew 24. Anybody could say that. There has to be some kind of proof, you know. I mean, the apostles had validating signs and wonders to say that you should listen to them as though it was the voice of God, because they were commissioned by Christ himself. And what I don't get is, like, in a video, this other guy that's one of those, like, slave guys, he said they're not inspired or infallible. So why do you have to listen to them as though they're the voice of God? And not to mention they've been wrong about so many things over their history. Why would you consider it the voice of God? Like, that's what the Bible is, not their interpretations or their rules.
If you go back on the website, you might be able to find some more answers to that.
I don't think so. What's your thought on it?
Well, I have to go, but I appreciate your call.
So disturbing. Okay, God bless you.